So we have the first house and the ascendant. The first house is ruled by the ascendant. So the ascendant, you see, this is Einstein chart. I'm using it as an example. I will even do a short reading of those four at the end as an example, just to see you how it works. For starters, we have the first house. The ascendant is always on the first house. Every one of these points is always on its respective house. Cannot be another house. Then we have the seventh house. We have the descendant, which is the opposite of the first house, which he has in Capricorn. Although we'll look at that later. And we have the fourth house with the Inum Coeli, and the 10th house, the midheaven. So, the ascendant. What is an ascendant? The ascendant is very particular. Ascendant is the beginning of the zodiacal circuit. It is the I am. Ascendant is who you are alone, who you know that you are. In Morpurgan astrology, very differently from traditional astrology, the ascendant is not a mask. Is not a mask at all. It's simply the expression of individual personality. This is your behavior when you are alone. When you're alone, you act your ascendant. This is the instinctive, pre-rational behavior embedded in all of us. This is the direction itself of the expression of personality. So your sun, those are all sun points. This is the direction your sun expresses it. In the Einstein chart, his sun in Pisces expresses himself in this ascendant in Cancer. It's your personal experience of reality. On the opposite, if this is the I am, this is me, this is not you, this is all about me. The sun is all about me. The first point of emergence of the sun. The descendant is the opposite. So I am in relation to you. So we are, not as collective, but I am in relation to you. Then the you is the other, the great other of the seventh house, which puts everything in relationship. And we only exist, Lisa would say, all life is dialectic, a dialectic between the subject and the object, between I and you. I cannot fully individuate myself without the relation with you, without you as a mirror. And if in the ascendant we have the sun as its main aspect, because this is ascendant is in the first house, which is ruled by Aries, and Aries is ruled by the sun exalted. So we have the individual self, beingness, as the thing itself present in the ascendant. So it's all about the being. The descendant works opposite. This is the objective pole of experience. Ascendant is subjective. Descendant is objective. So the I becomes aware that it's not alone. So this is you in relationship to others. Any type of partnership. Any type of you with others, basically. This is projected. This is not self. This is not self. This is not individual. This is projected. This is projected by you onto others. So this is how you are onto others. This is not how others are with you. This is how you are with others. You see, and this is how we understand ourselves to the projections with the other. And this is ruled by Libra. 7th house is ruled by Libra, which has Saturn exalted. So we have the awareness. Saturn is awareness of the other suns, of the other people, of the other beings. And this makes it aware of the other's behavior, basically. This is the behavior you have of yourself when you are with others. So for Morpurgo, for Lisa, this is not just about self and relationship, but it's the very structure of consciousness, of one individual thing being aware of itself in comparison to all things in which it can be in relations with. So all the mirrors, all of reality is a mirror for her to your ascendant, to your perception of yourself. And the ascendant, since it's instinctive pre-rational behavior, so it's how you behave. When, for example, you're in danger, the ascendant gets activated. Always, always. This is how it gets when you're not so in danger, when you are quite safe, so you have the capacity of being in relationship with some other. This is the descendant, the capacity to be aware of yourself within the context of others. Well, the Inum Coeli. Inum Coeli, which is this one, rules the 4th house. So we are in Cancer. So we have Venus exalted in Cancer. This rules the private self. This rules the nature of the space of the private self. So you read somebody EC, this is the nature of the house, how the house feels. This is family tribe, so your perception of you within family and tribe. This is all about your son. So this is all about you still. Like you can get two brothers with a different EC. Even if they are the same family, they have a perception of the family, and that's the relationship they have of themselves within the family. It's completely different. This is what makes you rooted. The EC roots you. This is your root. The key of the Inum Coeli is I belong. So it is the belonging to your home, to your tribe. It makes you stable. This is rooted subjectivity because this is you. This is not objective. In Cancer, we have the Sun domicile, so this is not objective. It cannot be. This is the self in its most passive, receptive, and enduring mode. And is the I am from, which it's gonna change when we get to the MC. Now we get to the MC. We have the midheaven. It rules the 10th house, which is in the opposite sign of Cancer, so it rules 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. So we have Mars exalted and Saturn second domicile in the same way as the Sun is second domicile in Cancer, and they opposite each other. This is the public self. And the nature, this is one is projected to, you're noticing a pattern. The DC and the midheaven are very similar because they're all projected externally onto someone else, which is not you. But it's still about you. This is all about you. This is the projected public self you have. Onto what? Onto society, the world, your workplace, you know. This is your perception, how you are in career with the coworkers as a public figure. So you look at this when you look at somebody which has had a very important career, very important public life, very like an artist. If in this case Einstein has a very strong MC, I will read it later. He's very strong. Career driven is all 10th house is a massive 10th house, you see, is just massive. This is a career man. Scientific, but still. This is elevated objectivity. So the MC has this quality of elevating you towards higher grounds, higher purposes than the root that your EC does, but they have to balance each other. Always do. They're on a polarity. And it is objective. This one is objective. It's objective because it's projected onto the world. This is the self, so your sun is still an aspect of your sun. In its active, constructive, and defining mode, this is the I go towards. It's sort of like your life mission. It's not your karma or your goal, but it's like the goal of your public self, basically. You know, everybody has a public self, which is their goal in life or their main thing. In Einstein it is, so I just chose this chart for that. Some people have a very rich inner life, which is all incoherently related, or some people have a very strong ascendant which rules their lives, that can depend different things. Let's get into the example. We start from his AC, so where is he grounded from? He is grounded into relative physics. He passed his childhood studying math, normal relative math, Newtonian physics. He even did, with his moon in SAG as a kid, study philosophy. Although he's not going to think philosophy that much as a kid, mostly did math. Most important aspect of his childhood, because he also has to do with childhood for 4,000, was that he studied a lot of math. He knew a lot of stuff. Prodigy child. But he grounds himself in relative physics. But his MC wants him to go to quantum physics, because if Virgo is reality, all that is verifiable, quantifiable. Pisces is all that is not quantifiable, unverifiable, the past reality, quantic in the literal sense. I will give quantum physics to Pisces, of course, because there is Neptune there, but we go for stages. So, in his first part of life, Virgo has Uranus exalted. Epsilon we don't know, of course, because nobody knows Epsilon, but we have Uranus exalted. We have this Uranus in Virgo here, in the third house, which rules math and all that stuff, This thing rules the math. And being a student, third house is the house of the student, so he was a student. First part of his life was a student of math, of reality. His mind was all about being really, really good at processing this type of math stuff, Then it ends, this routine, which goes on through all of his life. It's just that most of it, the EC is very particular because it takes a lot of energy from your childhood, but it also continues and maintains itself through all of your life. This is his rooting, where he's rooted from for all of his life. Then we enter this Mercury, which is this Mercury in Aries in the 10th house, so creates new ideas, new potential ideas. And it goes to and this is where it's rooted from, basically. But then it goes to this MC in Pisces. Pisces starts with Neptune. So where is his Neptune? We look at his Neptune here in Taurus. So you have the Neptune in Taurus here. Taurus is all about matter and gravity, Taurus rules gravity, Big stuff attracts stuff, smaller stuff, this is Taurus. So we have the Neptune. Neptune is very abstract, so he perceives matter as energy. So MC equals energy equals MC squared, That's the Neptune in Taurus. So we start from this idea that all matter is essentially etheric, ether, the Neptune substance. And we have this philosophy of matter. This is all about matter, Then what we have Moon exalted. Moon exalted in Pisces, in Sag. Sag makes him travel. So for his career, what he did, travel all the world. If this guy, this Sagittarius Moon, they need to travel and to teach, because Sag is traveling and teaching, made him go all around the world. So this is his MC, so his capacity to project reputation onto the world, So this is what he does. This is his career, this is his reputation. As a traveler, he's a traveled man, he's a knowing man, because he has this Sag Moon, he has the emotional need to explain, to teach. There is not about this is work, 6,000, this is about his work. And then what we end with the Jupiter. With the Jupiter in Aquarius. And this is his humanitarian nature. Bro was very humanitarian, If you read his biography, is kind of he was at least a socialist, not a very radical one at that, but still a socialist, so much that the CIA kept tabs on him. He was very humanitarian. When he went to America, he said something on the likes of racism is the most endemic problem of America. He was very fond of Mahatma Gandhi and all of that stuff. When he's very humanitarian, basically. This is his humanitarian gift to the world. This is philosophy that is humanitarian, because Jupiter is philosophy. It's the collectivist philosophy. He wanted the world to be ruled by some sort of social democracy. And it's like the teaching of that, they have the 9th house, so it's like travels to spread it too. This is his career, this is his reputation. So He starts with this Neptune and in Taurus of like matter equals mc squared, you know. He needs to travel to teach, and he ends preaching the philosophy of the Aquarian, the humanitarian one, on a reputational level, because it was very actually quite a massive figure. But on an ascendant level, ascendant is in Cancer, so it appears quite soft, right? His first impulse is to protect. Cancer is about protection, so Hitler passes his laws on persecuting the Jews. Immediate response, immediate action, immediate need to be protected. He just runs away. Why? Because the Cancer has a domicile of the moon, first domicile, so he has to fail to travel. So his primary response is just to travel away, gets the fuck out, you know, goes to America. Boom, he's out. Just simple, because if ascendant is there. Like, yes, the Venus exalted in Aries. This man was not a very faithful lover. He had many lovers, even outside of his marriage. He would even say that his marriage was too constricting for his type of lifestyle. So the Venus in Aries quite impulsive, you know. It kind of goes from spark to spark. He had many lovers, even when he was with his second wife. So there is that aspect, at least in the ascendant, of how he is on a primal level, which ends with his sun, so it ends with himself. So it's kind of like that. You know, ascendant in Cancer is quite egotistical. It kind of cares about itself for the most part. That's its goal, at least, to keep his Piscean dreamy nature, basically. Then when we have the descendant, so how he is in relationship with others, is the authority figure, is a massive authority figure, and like his partnerships are cold and quite cold. His marriages were not most loving of marriages, but even if we have the Venus there, you know, it was quite constricted by all the Saturnian laws that you have to abide in a marriage, you know. Like in Capricorn, we have Mars exalted, so it just projects authority, infinite authority to the other. So, you know, when he went to Israel, State of Israel, which was not exactly pro, its foundation, Ben Gurion offered him the presidency of it. Very funny thing is that Israel did not really want him as a president, but like he had so much reputation, they just felt the need to offer it to him, and it refused it. But like he got so bad reputation, he's got so bad Capricorn reputation that they just offered it like that, which is so wild to think, because it just projects the reputation, you know. And like you have the Saturn there, so it just, you know, it starts. I was like talking of Manhattan. He was a pacifist, did not really want to, you know. Cancer, not very fond of war. Pisces, not very fond of war. Like the Aries here kind of works differently, you know, because Capricorn ends with Saturn in Aries, with Saturn, and Saturn entry Aries. So this is the awareness of war. So what happened was that Roosevelt told him, and basically the Nazis might get the bomb faster than us. So it's like, oh, I am aware of this thing now. I am aware of the potential of a worse war, and this with the Saturn is like, oh, actually, I'm gonna build the bomb myself. You know, I'm gonna help with that. So that there is that aspect of that, the awareness that he gets of war, of conflict, with that Saturn when he is with others. So this is everything I have for today. Hopefully this very short video was interesting. It was more about me just explaining you guys than anything else, but still, hopefully it was fun. So see you next time. Have a nice day.